All right, we're going.
All right, ladies, so they call this generation the hookup culture, and they say that we are a generation confused about intimacy and sexually unfulfilled. What do you think?
Well, considering that, I think we're probably pretty sexually fulfilled, but I would say that it's definitely hookup culture.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. I think there's both. There's two sides to it. You know, there's definitely that's out there, but there's also like, if you're so busy surviving, like, you know, it's not like, I don't know. I see both sides of it. So.
I don't think we're confused about intimacy, really. I think it's more of blurring the lines between like emotional intimacy and sexual intimacy. And I think that we definitely have the sexual intimacy down in this culture. I think where it gets confusing is the emotional aspect of it. Like, you know, you sleep with someone and then you think that you're like, oh my God, we had such a connection, but it's not really like that.
Yeah.
That's where I think it gets confusing.
Totally.
Yeah, I think the emotional aspect of it is pretty much void and null at this point. It's pretty sad.
But I'd say it's definitely true. We're like the hookup culture, and I think a lot of social media or whatever makes that really accessible. Like, there's all these websites now where it's so easy to find people just for hooking up that it's like it's very accessible.
Yeah.
I think I heard sexually liberated. Anybody say that? Maybe a little bit.
I've never heard that.
I think
No.
that was like a few decades ago.
Yeah, I was thinking after that.
When my mom.
I know, my mom
Oh.
went through that, but
Yeah.
I don't think about that at all.
Yeah.
I don't like to think about my mom like that.
Nobody wants to be hookup.
I'm just going to jump in and say, can you talk a little bit more about what do you think that lack of the emotional intimacy is? I think you hit on something. Is it because of the websites? Is it because of, why is it? Because everybody's hooking up, so nobody wants to go past that? I mean, talk a little bit about that.
I think people nowadays are really focused on themselves and where they're going to get and what they're doing, and you know, they're not thinking in terms of permanence and having like a solid relationship. And I think also, like, with hookup culture, if you hook up with somebody, you're not sort of privy to thinking, oh, like, this is going to go somewhere, because a lot of times both parties are not on the same page with that, so everybody just kind of throws it to the wind, I guess.
Give us an example when you hooked up with someone that happened.
Am I allowed to give it
I can give you so
Yes.
many examples. It's sad.
Is this like we don't have to give names.
No, maybe.
Names, addresses,
I was gonna say,
telephone
like,
Photo ID.
I was going to say, piggybacking off of what you said, I actually feel the opposite. I think that I wanted so badly to have a relationship, but I mean, everything that comes with it, like including the emotional package, that I thought that was there when it wasn't. And you know how women, like, once you have a sexual experience with a guy, you're like, oh,
I become
he must
very
be feeling
emotionally
it
attached.
too.
Yeah.
And then you just don't hear from the guy anymore, and you're like, I thought we had something really great. And that happened to me so many times that I felt the opposite. Like, I thought that it was there, and then usually what happened was the guy was like, oh, I wasn't ready for a relationship. Like, I'm really focused on my career right now. And it's like, ugh, not again. And
Yeah.
I think that's where what you said
Yeah.
about, like, there's just so many other things that you're
Yeah.
focused on and thinking about.
I don't
that
think I don't think it's as much of a priority, like, you know.
I think it's really easy to find someone to hook up with. I mean, you can go to the bar, you can go next door for that. But like,
Yeah.
I think it's harder to find somebody that is actually a relationship material.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's so easy to go online. Like, you can go to Craigslist and just do like casual encounters, or
Which
you
is
know, if
so
you look
scary.
up. I mean, it's really scary, but it's well, not scary, but it's just there. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I think that being in a relationship, especially at this age, is like, at least for me, is a risk, a huge risk, emotionally and physically, because you're taking stock in another human being when you're not really sure what exactly is solid in your own life.
Yeah.
I know that when I hooked up with this one guy, I guess, and I thought that things were going really well, and he didn't think the same way. And I like asked him, trying to be like brave. I was like, if you don't like me, it's totally fine. Like, I don't care. It's totally fine if you don't like me. You just need to tell me that you don't like me. And he was like, actually, yeah, I don't really like you that much.
Yeah.
And I started bawling, like
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Started bawling.
You're like, I can
Sorry,
take it.
no,
I
I
can
can't
take it. I can't take it. I
No.
take it back.
Because even in that, even in those feelings that I thought I felt for him, I mean, like, no, I look back. And, he was
And you're like,
awful.
thank God he said he didn't like me.
Thank God. But at the time, it hurt so much because I had invested a little bit more than I wanted to.
Yeah.
I think a lot of girls also go into, like, they like a guy, like in high school, like, I liked this guy, and I was like, oh, well, you know, like, we're going to a party, you know, maybe some, I don't know, this is high school, I don't want to
Yeah.
think about it too much, but, yeah, like, he did not like me, and so that was, like, an example of girls, like, wanting to give something to see if they're going to get anything back, and it doesn't really go that well, a lot of times, I don't think.
And online dating is not really all that risky. Meeting the
Yeah, it's
person,
not.
Unless they're
but like
like a
getting to
stalker.
know them is not risky at all. You just
Yeah.
click on their profile, they've told you what they want you to know.
Yeah, that's true.
They also put up pictures they want you to see.
Yeah, I mean, I
Might
do
not
too.
look like them
I
at
put pictures I
all.
want them to see. I want them to see real things.
Online dating is kind of creepy though, because if you like meet the person and it could be like a crazy.
Yeah, but I used to think it was
I
so
don't know.
unorganic, and I was like, I'm never doing this. And then I went through a breakup recently, and I was like, maybe I'm gonna do this. So I
No
actually
shame,
tried
girl.
it. Yeah, right.
No shame.
It's
I
alright.
was on 2 of them.
Oh, really?
And I have two of my best friends have met their now fiance on online dating.
That's what all
Which
my
is
friends
ridiculous.
say.
And in
But-
both cases,
all
it
my
was their
friends
first
say.
date, like the first person they met, and now they're engaged. So I'm like, it works.
But what do you think about guys that would ask you out through a website versus just like saying hello to you at line in Starbucks? Like that irritates the shit out of me. Like I was like, you can't say hi to
I think
me.
a lot of it is in New York.
I don't-
It's
okay.
not easy
Yeah,
to meet
that's
people
the
here.
point.
It's really not an easy city to meet guys.
I had a guy walk down the street and say hi to me on Valentine's Day, and I laughed. I laughed at him. Like it was a weird reaction. I felt so stupid afterwards. I'm like, I'm the biggest bitch, but like I didn't. And most of the time when people say hi to you, they're tourists, they're foreign, or they're crazy. Like I mean, in this
Yeah,
town,
that's
I wouldn't.
true.
That's true.
So
I had a really handsome.
All right, guys.
That's good.
Good.
But you
All
know,
right.
all right, do you want to tell them?